Hi Priyanshu. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I guess people are preparing for prelims so that they're not showing interest to join, I guess. So we'll see 2 3 minutes or else we can continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
The screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay.
Yeah. So Priyanshu, do one thing. So I would suggest you. Hello. Just do one thing. Like you need to off your sound in your mobile. I guess you're joining through mobile, right? Hello.
Yes.
You're joining through mobile, right? This is from mobile. So you need to do one thing like you need to off sound. You need
Okay.
to decrease the volume also in which you are presenting. The governance one which you was presenting, it should be like the asset of this should be in volume decrease.
In today's good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Today, I will explain about good governance. Today's lecture, good governance fundamentals. In divide this into 4 units. In unit one, introduction to good governance, concepts, factors, and models. In two, democracy governance, in which democratic, environmental, and health governance. In Unit 3, state and citizenship roles and participation and social audit. In Unit 4, institutional and legal arrangements about RTI, Right to Information Act, Lokpal, e-governments, and more, etc. Like Citizens Charter. In today's introduction to good governance, Unit 1. What is good governance? First, understanding the foundations to good governance. Like the good governance um, refers to the process of decision making and the process by which decisions are implemented or not implemented in a transparent, transparent, accountable, and participating manner. In managing exercise of authority in managing state affairs, transparent and accountable processes, efficient in of delivery of service, public services, participation of all stakeholders, including citizens, not only government, it is including citizens, everyone, public and private sector rules. It encompasses the mechanism. It encompasses the mechanisms, processes, and institutions through which citizens and groups articulate their interests, exercise their legal rights, meet their obligations, and mediate their differences. Good governance is not just about government. It involves stakeholders, including civil society, private sector, public sector, citizens, private and public sector citizens, and characters of good governance are rule of law and justice, participation. All citizens should have a voice in decision making, and rule of law, fair legal frameworks enforced impartially, transparency, transparent, free flow of information and accessibility, responsiveness, serving all stakeholders with reasonable time frame, consensus oriented, mediating different interests to reach broad consensus, equity, and inclusiveness. All groups feel included in society. Effectiveness and efficiency, efficient delivery of public services, all eh, producing results that meet needs while making best use of resources. Accountability, decision makers are answerable to public and stakeholder. Factors of good governance, internal factors. eh, we studied about this: transparency, accountability, participation, and sustainability. Some internal factors are political. There are two types of factor: internal and external. In internal, political will, political will, leadership commitment to reforms and transparency, institutional capacity, institutional capacity, and strong institution capacity, strong competent administrative structures, legal frameworks, comprehensive laws and regulations, civil society, active NGOs, non-government organizations, NGOs, media and citizens group, and external factors including are international standards, global governance norms and benchmarks, economic conditions, economic conditions, resource availability and economic stability, technology, infrastructure, technology, la- digital infrastructure and e-governance capacities, electronic governance, e-governance. Technologies, digital infrastructure and e-governance capabilities are factors of good governance. Models of good governance. Different countries adopt different governance models based on their historical, based on their history and cultural and political contexts. Westminster model. This this Westminster model. This is parliamentary democracy with clear separation between head of state and head of government. And second point is presidential presidential model. Third is federal model. Fourth is participatory model. In presidential model, there is different election. Executive president elected independently with separation of powers. The election of president is separately taken separately. It it will promote more stable government. And in federal, power distribution between central and regional government. And in participatory model, direct citizen involvement in governments and decision making. The citizens are participated. Westminster model is origin in British parliamentary system adopted by many Commonwealth nations, including India. India also adopted this Westminster model. The key features of this is parliamentary sovereignty. Parliament is supreme law-making body. Cabinet government, executive drawn from legislature. Collective responsibility, cabinet ministers collectively responsible to parliament. And opposition role, formal recognition of opposition parties. Neutral, civil service. Professional bureaucracy serving any government. Like example, India follows the Westminster model with parliamentary democracy, where the prime minister is the head of the government and the president is the constitutional head. India follows this. India follows this Westminster model. India is example of this Westminster model and presidential or executive model. This is also known as executive or presidential model. This is followed in United States. Origin is United States Constitution adopted by many nations. Key features of this is separation of powers, clear division between legislature, executive, and judiciary. Fixed terms. President serves fixed term, regardless of legislative confidence. Direct election. President elected directly by people. The president is elected separately. Checks and balances. Each branch can limit powers of other. Presidential veto. It has executive can reject legislative decisions. It has veto power. Example is United States, where president serves as both head of state and head of government with significant independent power. And is importance why we need good governance. Before going to unit 2, why what is the importance of this good governance? It is it is importance in economic development. Economic.
You can use it as D also, no problem.
Okay.
We can, yeah, we can keep it as D.
Economic development attracts investment. This is the benefit of good governance and promotes growth, reduces poverty. That's why good this is important topic. And social stability. Social stability reduces conflicts, promotes social cohesion and trust. And rule of law. As we study rule of law, ensures justice, protects rights, prevents arbitrary actions. Service delivery improves quality and accessibility of public services. Citizens empowerment enables participation, voice, and accountability. Sustainable development balances economic, social, and environmental goals. Good governance is perhaps the single most important factor in eradicating poverty and promoting development. In Unit 1, we studied good governance is about transparent, accountable, and participatory decision making. The eight characters are participation, rule of law, transparency, responsiveness, consensus, equity, effectiveness, accountability, multiple factors, political, institutional, legal, social, influence, governance quality. Different governance models suit different contexts, like Westminster, presidential, federal, participatory. Good governance is essential for development, stability, and citizen welfare. In Unit 2, Democracy and Governance, exploring the democratic foundations. What is a democracy? Democracy is a system of government where power rests with the people. The most powerful are people. People are people have the most power. Who exercise it directly or through elected representatives. Citizens participate. Popular, the principles of democracy are popular sovereignty. Ultimate power resides with the citizen. Citizen has most power. Political equality. Each citizen has equal voice and vote. Right to vote. Right to vote. Free and fair elections. Regular competitive elections. Everyone has equal opportunity in elections. Majority rule with minority rights, protecting all groups. Freedom of expression, right to speech, assembly, press. These are freedom of speech. Democracy and good governance relationship, complementary concept. Democracy and good governance reinforce each other. Democracy enables we study free and fair elections, separation of powers, independent judiciary. The democracy enables governance, provides legitimacy, ensures accountability, enables participation, protects rights. Governance strengthens democracy, delivers services effectively, maintains rule of law, promotes transparency, and builds citizen trust. These are democratic and good governance relationship. Both are complementary. Complementary. Democracy without good governance leads to inefficiency. Governance without democracy lacks legitimacy. That's why good governance is important. A democratic governance system that operates on democratic principles, ensuring citizen participation, transparency, accountability, and responsiveness in all decision-making processes. The core elements are representative institutions, elected bodies at all levels, participatory mechanisms, public consultations, hearing feedback system, accountability systems, audits, oversight bodies, judicial review, transparency measures. The features of democratic governance are electoral accountability, regular elections, hold a leader answerable to people, institutional checks, multiple institutions, balance and monitor each other, civic engagement, active citizen participation in policy making, decentralization, power distributed to local levels, panchayati raj, social inclusion, reservation affirmative action for disadvantaged groups, freedom of information, citizens' right to access government information, responsive administration, public services tailored to citizen needs. Example 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments empowered local governments, panchayats and municipalities to practice democratic governments at grassroots level, at ground level. Environment.
So I want to add one thing, like,
Yes.
do all states have the same tires? All places will have the same tires? Like some have three tires, two tires. So which places will be having uh, how many tires? Can you explain about that so that it will be also revised?
Um, like different states, I think different states may have different tire system. Two tire, three tire.
Yeah, yeah, yes. For example, take your state as example.
Which state?
You belongs to like
Jharkhand.
yeah. So state comes under uh, it will take care of the state government. Moving to district and other mandal or villages, it will be like this in your state or different. So you explain on your state.
It is like district divided
So
into.
for example, I lives in Telangana. It have three tier. Like firstly, what panchayat, like village level, mandal level, like block, and district level. So will it be same in Jharkhand or any other places? Will be same like two tier, three tier, like this. Some states will be having different tiers, right?
Yes.
I having this small query about this. So anyone can add point.
Yes, if anyone know can add the points. Or in next topic we will dis- discuss about that two tier system or three tier system,
Yeah, yeah,
because I am not aware of that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like no need to discuss about the thing. It was just small thing. Like
Yes,
just we need to remember which places will be having three tier, two tier, like that. Okay, it's okay.
okay.
Continue.
The environmental, there are types of government like governance, environmental health. The environmental governance refers to the processes, institutions, and mechanisms by which environmental policies are made, formulated, implemented, and enforced to ensure sustainable management of natural resources, sustainable development to resource management, climate actions, and to promote sustainable development. We know to sustain these resources for next future generations, protect environment. That's why the environmental governance is important, and health governance. The and also environmental, some important key components features are the policy framework, environmental laws, regulation standards, institutional mechanisms like environmental ministries, pollution control boards. This
So
mechanism.
sorry for interrupting, Priyanshu. Like I guess Jharkhand having three tier.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. For suppose Rajasthan will be having two tier panchayat raj system.
yes,
That's the point. Yeah. And also Harshita also mentioned, I guess, in chat. Yeah. You
yes.
can read it once all will revise it.
Oh, next time I will read about that the tire system
No,
research.
no, no, no. I'm saying that to uh, read it in session itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the in environmental stakeholder participation. NGOs also help in environmental protections, non-government organizations involving communities, businesses, and monitoring and compliance, environmental impact assessment, audits, international cooperation, climate agreements, biodiversity conventions. Examples of the environmental governance are National Green Tribunal (NGT), specialized court for environmental disputes; Environmental Impact Assessment, mandatory for major products; Swachh Bharat Mission, nationwide cleanliness and sanitation campaign; National Action Plan on Climate Change; 8 missions for climate adaptation; Forest Rights Act, recognizing tribal rights over forest resources. And global examples are Paris Agreement, 195 countries committed to limiting global warming; Montreal Protocol, successful ozone layer protection treaty. This. are the examples of environmental governance and health governance. The health governance, public health policies, pandemic management, healthcare access. Health governance encompasses the actions, rules, and mechanisms by which health health system are directed, regulated, and controlled to ensure equitable access to quality healthcare for all citizens. The key features of health governments are health policy framework, national health policies, strategic plans, healthcare delivery systems, public hospitals, primary health centers, clinics, regulatory bodies, medical councils, drug controller, food safety authorities. The food will be checked. If the food is, then they will give license, is good or not. Financing mechanisms, health insurance, public health budgets, quality assurance, like standard accreditation, monitoring systems, community participation, health communities, patient rights advocacy. Some examples are Ayushman Bharat, world's largest health insurance scheme covering 50 crore people, National Health Mission, strengthening health care delivery in rural and urban areas, Mission Indradhanush, Janni Suraksha Yojana, generic medicine stores, Jan Aushadhi, National Digital Health Mission. These are examples. COVID-19 response demonstrated importance of coordinated health governance through vaccination drives, testing infrastructure, and public health measures. This is our examples of health governance. This that's why this health governance is important. In next unit, in this unit, we studied democracy and good governance and mutually reinforcing concepts. Democratic governance ensures participation, accountability, and transparency in decision making. Environmental governance is crucial for sustainable development for resource and resource management. Health governance ensures equitable access to quality healthcare services. Effective governance requires strong institutions, citizen participation, and appropriate policy frameworks. India has implemented various initiatives in democratic, environmental, and health governance. In Unit 3, States and Citizenship, Roles and Responsibilities in Governance. Role of state in governance. The state refers to the political organization comprising of government institutions, legal frameworks, and administrative apparatus that exercises authority over a defined territory and population. Primary roles are legislative functions, making laws and regulations, in policy formulations and implementations, enforcement of laws and regulations, executive function, implementing policies and programs, making laws and regulations are legislative function, and implementing policies and programs are executive function, and judicial function is to adjudicating disputes and ensuring justice, and regulatory function, setting standards and ensuring compliance, service delivery, providing public goods and services, welfare function, ensuring social security and equity, service delivery to citizens, protection of rights and justice. Role of citizen in governance. Policy formulation process. First, problem identification, recognizing issues requiring government intervention. Then prioritizing issues for policy action. Policy analysis, evaluating alternatives and their impacts. Then take consultation from stakeholders, seeking inputs from affected parties. Policy design, drafting detailed policy framework, legislative approval, getting policies approved by parliament assemblies, implementation planning, designing executive strategies. Example like National Education Policy to 2020 underwent extension consultations with 2.5 lakh stakeholders before finalizing from all the teachers and s- some professors, everyone. Then they did meetings, consultant, then they implemented this policy, National Education Policy. Policy informants and these mechanisms and social audit. Administrative informants, legal enforcements. The example is Magnera. Social audits. Gram Sabhas verify works, expenses, and beneficiary payment under Employment Guarantee Scheme. The civic culture is not visible. The civic culture is the set of attitudes, beliefs, and values and behaviors that support the functioning of democracy and effective governance. The civic culture is political awareness, civic responsibility, political awareness, understanding governance systems and issues. Civic responsibility is sense of duty toward community and nation. Tolerance and respect, accepting diverse viewpoints and groups. Trust in institutions, confidence in government and legal systems. Active participation, willingness to engage in civic activities. Rule following, respecting laws and social norms. This is important because strong civic culture is foundation for effective democratic governance. That's why civic culture is important. Methods to citizen participation methods: direct participation, voting in elections, attending gram sabhas, ward committee meetings, public hearings, protests, and demonstrations. Indirect participation in civic culture, there are two methods to participate: direct in voting in elections, attending in gram sabhas. These are direct, and indirect participation is filing RTI applications, right to information applications, submitting grievances online, social media advocacy, NGO, non-government organization. In NGO, this is indirect method of participation. Consumer activism, digital platforms like My Government Portal, PM app, public grievance portal, smart city apps enable citizen participation in governance online apps. Social audit is public examination of government actions and policies. Transparency, accountability, public involvement. A process is where this is social audit is a process where citizens collectively monitor and evaluate the planning, implementation, and the outcomes of government programs and projects. The process is information. This process is in 6 steps. In first, information collection, gathering documents, records, and data. In second step is verification, cross-checking with beneficiaries and physical verification. In third step, public hearing, Gram Sabha discusses finding openly. Fourth step is documentation, recording discrepancies and issues. And fifth step, Action. Official respond and take corrective measures. And last step, follow up monitoring implementations of recommendations. In this unit, we studied that state plays multiple roles: legislative, executive, and judicial, regulatory, and service delivery. Policy formulation involves systematic processes with stakeholder consultations. Social audits by state ensure transparency in program implementation. Citizens have both rights and responsibilities in governance. Civic culture is essential for healthy democracy and effective governance by participating directly or indirectly. Multiple mechanisms exist for citizen participation, like direct and indirect. Social audit empowers citizens to hold government accountable. In last unit is the applications of good governance, like what is the most important topics: institutional and legal agreements of good governance, framework for accountability and transparency, the citizen charter, commitment to service quality and citizen satisfaction, standards of service delivery, grievance redressal mechanisms, the complaints of public should be solved, citizen rights and responsibilities. India has established various institutional and legal frameworks to ensure good governance, transparency, and accountability. Institutional mechanisms by institutional. These are citizen charters, service delivery committees, commitments, and second is right to information, RTI, transparency and disclosure, Consumer Protection Act, consumer rights and redressal, e-governance, digital service delivery. The example of e-governance is DigiLocker, in which ABC ID is created and so many documents are stored. It eliminates the need of physical verification, because this we are directly downloading the documents from the authorized and respective source. This is example of e-governance. And public service delivery, efficient service mechanisms. Lokpal, anti-corruption ombudsman at central level. This is the third person who sits, the ombudsman. He helps in solving the problems in grievance. In last is Lokayukta, anti-corruption ombudsman at state level. The Lokpal is ombudsman at central level, and Lokayukta is at state level. Lokayukta is ombudsman at state level. The citizens charter is a definition. The definition is a written declaration made by service provider about the standards of services citizens can expect, along with time frames, grievance redressal mechanisms, and accountability measures. The key components of citizen charters are vision and mission, organization's commitment to citizens' service standards, quality and quantity of services promised, time norms, specific timelines for service delivery, and grievance redressal, the complaint mechanisms and resolution processes. Citizen rights, what citizens can expect and demand, transparency measure, public disclosure of performance. The examples of citizen charter and impact: railway citizen charter, promises on ticket booking, cleanliness, safety, punctuality. These are examples in India. Passport Seva Charter, time bound passport issuance, normal 30 days, take Tatkal 3 days, and income tax department charter, commitments on refund processing, assessment timelines, hospital charters, standard for OPD, wait times, admission procedure, quality care. and student grievance also. Student grievance redress, in which students can complain their problem of universities and they can solve. Benefits are make government accountable to citizens, improve service quality and efficiency, empowers citizens with information, creates performance benchmarks, and Right to Information Act. This is P. This is important. The Right to Information Act 2005, fundamental right in India, access to government documents, transparency in decision making, accountability mechanisms. A- the RTI Act is a landmark legislation that empowers citizens to seek information from public authorities, government authorities, promoting transparency and accountability in governance. The the benefits of this RTI key provisions are right to seek information. Any citizen can request information from public authorities. Time bound response 30 days for normal request, 48 hours for life and liberty matters. Public information officers, PIOs, designate officers to handle RTI request. Information commissions, independent bodies for appeal and complaints. Penalties, fines up to 25,000 for non-compliance. Proactive disclosure, organizations must publish key information. Motu. Proactive disclosure, RTI processes is in so many 7 steps. How to file RTI? Identify the public authority. First step. Second is draft application, starting information request. Third step is pay nominal fee of 10 rupees for central government. In state is also like free or 10 rupees. In but central level 10 rupees in 10 rupees. And fourth is submit to public information officer, then receives information within 30 days. Appeal to first appellate authority if dissatisfied. And last step is second appeal to information commission if needed. Over 60 lakh RTI applications filed annually, exposed corruption in multiple schemes, improved government responsiveness, empowered citizens. And next is Consumer Protection Act. The purpose of this was in 2019. Consumer Protection Act was to protect consumer rights, provide mechanism for redressal of consumer grievances, and regulate unfair trade practices. To control the unfair trade practices, this was implemented. Consumer product safeguarding consumer rights and interests, right to safety and quality. Complaint redressal system protects against unfair practices. The key features are expanded definition, covers e-commerce, online transaction, tele-shopping, consumer rights, right to safety, information, choice, redressal, education, product liability, manufacturers liable for defective products, unfair contracts, protection against one-sided terms and conditions, misleading ads, penalties up to 10 lakh for false advertisement, central consumer protection authority, regulatory body for enforcement, and consumer rights and redressal. Six consumer rights: right to safety, right to information, right to safety protects against hazardous goods, right to information, full disclosure about product services, right to choose, access to variety of products at competitive prices, right to be heard, representation in policy making, right to redressal, compensation for grievances, right to education, consumer awareness and information, redressal forums, district commission forum claims up to 1 crore, state consumer commission to 1 to 10 crore, national consumer commission above 10 crores. E-governance. After that, the application of information and this is the application of ICT. information and communication technology for delivering government services, exchange of information, integration of various systems, and improving interactions between government and citizens. The components are govern- four types of e-governance. G2C, this government to citizen, online services like certificates, bill payments. The government to citizens, in which government services are provided to citizens directly. Government to business, licensing, permits, tax filing. And third is government to government, interdepartmental communication. And fourth is government to employees, HR management, payroll systems. The benefits of these are transparency, reduces corruption and arbitrary decision efficiency, faster service delivery, reduced paperwork, accessibility 24 to 7 services, no geographical barriers, cost reduction, lower administrative costs, citizen empowerment, easy access to information and services. Examples are DigiLocker. I will major e governance initiative are examples. The DigiLocker application, everyone uses this app. Umang unified mobile app for new age governance. Umang app, in DigiLocker there is update of Umang's app. Digital document storage platform. This is digital stored. The documents can be saved online and downloaded anywhere, anytime. E-hospital app, online registration, appointment booking, GSTN, goods and services tax network, e-courts, case status tracking, and online filing. These are e-governance applications, online apps. Public service delivery. The public service delivery is the mechanism by which government provides essential services to citizens efficiently, effectively, and equitably. The key principles are accessibility and equity and accessibility. Accessibility services available to all without discrimination. Equal opportunity to everyone. Quality, meeting defined quality assurance and mechanisms, meeting de- defined standards and citizen expectations. Timeliness, delivering within promised timeframes. Accountability, officials responsible for service quality. Responsiveness, addressing citizen needs and feedback. Single innovations are single window systems, Jan Seva Kendras, mobile service units, common service centers, CS, bringing services to doorsteps. And last is Lokpal, the central level. The Lokpal, the two last topics. Lokpal is an anti-corruption ombudsman at central level, established under the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013 to inquire into allegations of corruption acts against public functionaries. Key features of this Lokpal uh, Act are jurisdiction, Prime Minister with restrictions, Minister MPs, Group ABCDs, officer composition, chairperson, and up to 8 members, 50% judicial members. Powers are investigation, prosecution, attachment of assets. Complaints. Any citizen can file complaint against public servants. Time limit. Inquiry to be completed within 1 year. Protection. Whistleblower protection provisions. And the powers and functions of Lokapal are so motu action can initiate investigations on its own. Search and seizure. Powers similar to civil court. Summon witnesses. Can call for documents and evidences. Prosecution can direct CBI, Central Bureau Investigation, or state police to file cases. Asset recovery can attach and confiscate illegally acquired properties. Functions are receive and investigate corruption complaints, conduct preliminary inquiries and full investigations, recommend disciplinary action against corrupt officials, monitor implementations of its recommendations, publish annual reports on its activities, and the last is the Lokpal is at central level and the Lokayukta is at state level. State level ombudsman institution. The state level. Last topic. This is the Lokayukta, an anti-corruption ombudsman institution at the state level that investigates allegations of corruption and maladministration against state government officials and ministers. Lokayukta. The key features are state level institutions established by state legislatures. Jurisdiction: Chief Minister in most states, ministers, MLAs, state government officials. Composition varies by state, typically Lokayukta and Upal Lokayukta. Independence: functions and independently of state government. Appointment by government on recommendation of committee including CM, Speaker, Leader of Opposition. By government, the functions and impact. Functions: complaint investigation examining corruption, allegates against state officials, inquiry conducting preliminary and detailed investigations, recommendations suggesting disciplinary action or prosecution, asset declaration, verifying wealth statements of officials, systematic reform, recommending changes to prevent corruption. Success stories: examples of this: strong Lokayukta institution leading to several corruption exposes. Maharashtra. In Karnataka and Maharashtra, investigated major irregularities in government departments. Kerala, effective in addressing citizen grievances. The citizens in this unit, this is completed. In citizen charters ensures delivery, commitment to accountability. RTI Act empowers citizens to access information, promotes transparency. Consumer Protection Acts, e-governance. The Consumer Protection Act safeguards consumer rights with effective redressal mechanism. E-governance leverages technology for efficient, transparent service delivery. Public service delivery focus on accessibility, quality, and timelines. And Lokpal, central anti-corruption watchdog with wide powers. And Lokayukta is state-level ombudsman addressing corruption. And the final, the good governance. The way forward is the good governance is not just a concept but a continuous process that requires commitment from both state and citizens through democratic institutions, transparent mechanisms, citizen participation, and strong legal frameworks. We can build a more accountable, efficient, and inclusive governance systems. Governance is a shared responsibility. As citizens, our active participation, vigilance, and engagement are crucial for making democracy work and ensuring good governance for all. Thank you, guys. Building better governance for better citizens.
Yeah, that's good. Long session.
Yes. These topics are completed. Now I can end the session.
Yeah, yeah. You can. We'll close the session. Send this PPT. Like,
Okay, okay.
I think, I guess this from Byju's, right?